Hey, you guys, welcome back. Now, recently something happened and I was very excited about it. As a matter of fact, I was telling everybody this is a game changer. This is going to change the way we do business. Oh, this is going to make so many people so happy. And I was head first into it. And as I'm working on it, I started seeing a few drawbacks. And I go, well, it'll be okay. I started to negotiate, I started to bargain, and I started to go, what'll be okay is if I got to do it that way, then that's fine. But it'll be okay. Then something said, hey, wake up. You better check and see if it can do what you say it can do as long as you say it can do it. What am I talking about? Let me tell you. So, if you have HighLevel, then you already know there is a tool called the AI Studio. Everybody named Mama got AI, I know. But this tool promised to allow you to design landing pages, funnels, websites, interactive dashboards, CRM relationship managers. I mean, it had everything you could think of. It had some like 6 or 7 templates to kind of get your creative juices flowing. And then it had a interface that said, what would you like to build today? Welcoming you to give your heart's desire, and it would then build it. And then you could just put it into your HighLevel. Easy. It was quick. It was fast. It was simple. But I understand HighLevel is a business, and they're not in this for the thanks and the applause. They're in this to make money. So I started thinking after I had did this Zoom, touting and promoting and showing all the capabilities of this product. And I started thinking, is this thing going to be sustainable? Now, and once again, if you have HighLevel, that they've got their AI agents, their AI chatbots, and AI employees, and you have to pay, especially for the employee. You pay per use, or you pay, I think it's $90, whatever it is, a month. I might be wrong on the numbers, just correct me if I'm wrong. But you pay a monthly fee for unlimited use. And I've seen it average. It hasn't really impressed me, their AI employee. So when I saw this, I was like, okay. I started playing with it. Okay. And I was excited for the possibilities that it held. But my logical mind said, start thinking with your heart. Start thinking about all the ways you can make this world a better place by making your funnels and your websites and see if you're going to be able to afford it. So I got on the phone with HighLevel and they were like, oh, it's new. It's going to be doing this. And finally they said, well, yeah, it's in beta. So it's free while it's in beta. When's it come out of beta? And I must have talked to 7, maybe 9 different representatives, all saying I didn't know, maybe next month. Finally, I got one that said it's out of beta on Tuesday. Now, this is May 3rd, Sunday. I'm making this video. So depending on when you see this, AI Studio and HighLevel may be out of beta. And what that means is now they charging for it. I tried to narrow them down on a price. I said, well, how much will be the per use price? How much will be the unlimited price? And they all said they don't know. There were no prices given yet, but it may follow that method to where you use it per use, you pay, or if you pay a monthly fee on top of your monthly fee for the platform, you get access to it unlimited. They are thinking that's what's going to happen as far as the pricing structure. Here's the problem. I built out this interactive dashboard where people could actually kind of look at where they wanted to go in their entrepreneurial journey. I said, like, if you wanted to do this, then this is the type of pricing, this is the type of money you can expect to make. If you want to do this, and then I would update that based on the most available data. I was going to do like once a month, most available data from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics and all that. So I had accurate data. But I couldn't just go in there like I can go in a funnel and change the information. Everything in the AI Studio has to be done at the command prompt. So I would have to go in there and go, hey, how do I change? I want to change this from A to B, and I'm going to change this from C to D. And then it has to go and formulate and update that interface. I can't do it myself. I have to ask the AI. Well, according to HighLevel's model, when I do that, that's going to be a charge. Or if they go with an unlimited plan, then of course I'll get that hopefully unlimited, right? What will that unlimited plan be? I don't know. What will it cost? I don't know. But I say that to say that I've been using ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. So I'm paying $20 a month for each of those. And let me tell you, about 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I was smacked in the face and I learned that Claude, I can talk to ChatGPT. Hey, how you doing? I was thinking of this, all this stuff, and really build the sycophancy levels and right in my ChatGPT. So it knows me. Oh, we're friends. When I got my Claude account, I opened that up. I did it because I was told it really makes these nice interfaces, right? It makes them look really nice. So I'm like, today, let's try to build this. What do you think? And quickly it was like, oh, you reached your daily limit. I can't talk to you until this resets in 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever. And I'm like, daily limit? Wait a minute, I have a paid account. They must think it's free. I'll delete the cookies. No. Wait, it's still saying I've reached my limit. So I jump over to YouTube and I go, has anybody else got this where they reach the Claude limits? There's a plethora of videos of people having the exact same experience. And one guy said it, and I love the way he put it. He said, Claude is not your chat buddy. You cannot talk to Claude because Claude goes back and it reads all your stuff to formulate an answer for your next question. That eats up your tokens. That eats up the available time you have to work with Claude. If you want to do something to maximize Claude, you formulate your idea, you think out your idea in Chat GPT. They use tokens differently. I think they each offer you 1 million tokens, but Chat GPT uses them differently. So you can formulate, brainstorm with Chat GPT and say, okay, this is what I want to do. Put this in a prompt that I can cut and paste into Claude. Then you take that prompt from Chat GPT into Claude, and then you just have Claude build it out. So since I've been doing that, I've not been hitting my limits. So basically, it's like me and ChatGPT, we're brainstorming, we're vibing, we're getting all stuff together. And with Claude, I'm like, I'm not here to know anything about you or care nothing about you. Do the work. Good, you got it. Give me the code, copy, thank you. And it works fine like that. Now me as a human, I like to personify these AIs. I know they're just computers and they don't know me from a can of paint. However, we sometimes get attached and we think, this is somebody that's really in the trenches helping me build my company, right? We as humans, we just attach emotional attachments to things. Anyway, so I've learned to really be really business with Claude. I don't give it any superfluous information. I give it the plain code. I get what I like. I might go in there and say, change this to that and everything, and maybe a few tweaks. Or if there's a lot of tweaks, I will go back into ChatGPT and say, this look like this. And I'll take the code from Claude, put it into chat and go, can you tell me why this isn't like this? And chat will say, oh, this line needs to be this. And then I'll ask chat, can you please redo the code with the new changes that we have discussed and I want implemented? Chat will give me more code. I'll cut and paste it in Claude. Claude will give me what I want. Great. Cut and paste it and put it where I want. That's what we have to work with these models. Now, with all that being said, I wanted to see if this new AI studio in HighLevel was on the same level as Claude. So I created a prompt in ChatGPT to show what I call the entrepreneurial journey dashboard, to show the different levels that an entrepreneur would go through in their journey from concept of an idea to creation of a product or service, and all the emotional roller coasters that go along with it, with a graphic representation, with a bit of humor thrown in. That's really the prompt that I put into chat, that it gave me the prompt that I put into HighLevel AI Studio and to Claude. And let's take a look side by side and see what I got. Keep in mind, HighLevel Studio, by the time you see this, they're telling me May 5th, it will no longer be in beta and it will be a charged service inside HighLevel. So if you're looking at using it on a per use basis, on a monthly amount, or if you want to pay $20 and get a paid Claude account, I want you to see side by side what you're going to get, and you can decide what's the best use case for your situation. Let's take a look at it. Okay, you guys. So as I said, I got that code doesn't show. When you cut and paste it, that code won't show. This is Claude. So I put in, like I said, that same prompt that I put into um, Claude that I got from ChatGPT that I put into HighLevel. And we got two different dashboards. So let's start with the one in HighLevel. Okay, so it has my familiar branding here, Success Driven, which is one of our companies. And I gave it, I said, this is the prompt I said I wanted, right? Complete a standalone interactive HTML. This is what I got from ChatGPT. So this is what I said I wanted everything to do. Remember, I told ChatGPT, we worked it out, we thugged it out and said, what do we want to do? And it built all this. So then I went over into the brand, right? And I said, show me this actual finished product. And this is what it showed me. Now, as you can see here, it said, I've created a standalone, fully responsive HTML file, right? Would you like to preview it? Absolutely. This is what it gave me. And it said, oh, do you want to preview the dashboard? Absolutely. Preview the dashboard, and this is what it built out. The entrepreneurial journey dashboard tracked real signs and stages, your typical journey, 90 days to 18 months, depending on focus, funding, support, and follow through. Okay. So, emotional reality, business confidence, chaos level. Okay, I like that. This could be huge, but let me buy the domain name first, just in case. Right? That's the reality check. The idea is exciting, but excitement is not proof that people will pay for. Okay, I think that. Then you go to the validation stage. That can take from 2 to 6 weeks. So I'm liking this. The planning stage, the brand building stage, the offer creation stage, the systems automation stage, and the marketing stage. Okay, I like that. I'm digging that. The emotional stages of building a business. You get inspired genius. You feel like just crack the code for the universe. Okay, or the overconfident visionary. So it's giving you different stages of building a business. That's cool. Timeline calculator. What? Estimate how long it will take to launch your business of your current reality. Medium consistent, right? If I'm low, 6 to 12 months. If I'm high, 3 to 6 months. How many hours a week am I putting on it? So all this, if I'm working alone, I have some help, right? And, is it complex? What I'm doing, is it really simple? And it'll tell me what an estimated track is. But it looks like that basically only changes when I talk about how many hours I'm putting in. I don't see any changes with the other things, right? Oh, it does change with this one. Okay. So that's cool. So it gives me an idea, kind of an approximation of what will happen, based upon how many hours I put into it, how focused I am, and how much support I've got, and how complex what I'm trying to build is. Okay, that's cool. That's a ballpark. That's not the standard. That's not a hard and fast, but it's a ballpark. I like it. Then the idea is not the business. The ideas begins when the idea meets a real customer problem. Okay, I like this. And then the execution tracker. So I see on my idea stage, okay, I'm 10% there. Validation stage. So once I go through it, and it looks like I'm checking all these, I'm getting closer to starting my business, right? Sales delivery, scale to stage. Okay, I like that. Because as I go and implement each of these different stages, I can see a progression of me moving forward. Okay, then it says ready to move to idea execution, start building my business. And that might lead them to a funnel or a form they fill out to get my services to make all of this a reality, right? Okay, that's cool. This is an interactive lead gen, basically. That's cool. Now, here's a drawback. When I want to change anything, I can't just go in like a regular funnel, right? I got to go back to here, right here. See where it says Ask AI? And I got to go and say, hey, please change this color from marketing stage from yellow to blue, yellow to white, and all those micro little things I want to change the offer creation stage to funding. I want to call it funding, or I want to call it, I've got to go back in and ask it each time. Now, if I'm paying for this on a per use basis, then that could add up. If it's unlimited usage, that might be better depending on what they're charging at HighLevel. Now, If they're saying it's unlimited usage for so many questions, queries, and generations, that could be a problem as well, right? Now let's see the same dashboard. Remember, this is the one that HighLevel built out. Let's see that same dashboard in Claude. And I'm not being biased here. I just want to see what the different um, designs look like. This is HighLevel. This is Claude. Okay. So as you can see, here's the prompt, same prompt that I put in there, right? And it built it out. So it says the entrepreneurial journey dashboard. Track the real stages, emotional roller coaster, and strategic moves required to turn an idea into a business. And it's got, you do not need another record. The logo is beautiful. Offer still, ideas executing. So it's got some little, I guess, positive statements here. Typical journey, 90 days to 18 months, depending on focus, funding, support, and follow through. Same thing the other one said, right? 10 stages of building the business. The idea stage, and you see as you change it here, looks like it's changing there, okay? Which is similar to the other one, just a little easier, I guess, to navigate maybe because you just click in it and things are changing, and then of course the marketing stage, your emotional charge, your business confidence, your chaos level, and then the reality check, success moves, or what you can do, so that's nice. Okay, then the emotional stages of building a business, once again, it's not clickable, but it's just highlighting them if you're, you know, so if you're going through any of these stages, okay, and what you should do, and then what you should really do. I like this. So it tells you might feel like this, what this actually means, and how you should respond. I like the way it put that in there. I like that. Okay, your timeline calculator. Once again, consistent effort, medium, casual, low, 10 hours a week, 40 hours, and it looks like it's changing just like that, based upon what we're putting in here. Okay. And now it's got something called reality cards. The idea is not the business. Your logo is not the launch. Confusion is part of the build. Okay. So it's got some things that all entrepreneurs should know or need to know. And if they don't, they get this and they will know. And then, of course, here's our entrepreneurial progress builder. So you're at the idea stage, 10% validation. So once again, it's showing that as you progress through all these stages, you are getting closer to 100%. Now, keep in mind, just clicking these buttons doesn't mean you got a business launched. You've got to work at validation. You've got to make sure you plan it, make sure you brand build it, and all that stuff. And, here's a plug here. We help you with all this. Is success driven. So just putting it out there. So that is what this built out. And then at the bottom, ready to move. Here's my CTA, my call to action. Start building my business. No fluff, no shortcuts, just the build. Okay. So with all that, seeing how both of those did it from the chat now, once again, when I cut and paste the code, this won't show up in my code. I've noticed this before because before I was like, take this away. And Claude told me that doesn't show up. So, okay. So this is what Claude built. This is what HighLevel built. HighLevel, Claude. HighLevel, Claude. Which one do you like? Which one do you think is a better use? Now, keep in mind, I'm using Claude and paying $20 a month. This is my first generation today, and let's see how much I've used just doing this. Let's go to settings. Let's go to usage, and I've used 11% generating that HTML interactive journey of an entrepreneur dashboard. I've used 11% of my weekly goal, but weekly limits. I've used 11% of my daily limits. In 4 hours, 21 minutes, that resets again. I'm on the Pro plan, which is $20 a month. Do you think it's worth it? Like I said, remember, Claude is not to be talked to. We don't talk to Claude like we do other things, right? We give Claude specific instructions to follow what we need done, and we go from there. So, with that being said, what do you think is the best case? Let's see, once again, let's take a look at this. Here we go. All right. So what do you think? Was it worth it? $20 a month to build this out, or possibly paying HighLevel per use or per month? We don't know what those numbers are for HighLevel yet, but keep in mind, if you do that, when HighLevel does do it, they did say you're going to have to go back here to the command prompt to make any changes, anything that's made AI Studio. You cannot work on it as you do a regular website, funnel, form, or anything else in HighLevel. It has to strictly be done from here. This is what they call vibe coding, and the interface is different. All right. So now that you know how that works, what are your thoughts? Is it worth it to go with the high level, pay a per instance or possibly unlimited use for a month? We don't know what those prices are, like I said. Or is it better to pay $20 a month for Claude and drop it in? But keep in mind, when Claude builds out your code and you drop it into your high level, that code has to be modified, hard coding. You got to go in there and modify it. So if you know the hex code for a different color that you want for a different font or whatever, you've got to do that manually. Or you have to take that code back into Claude and then say, hey, modify this and drop it back in there. So they're both almost like uh, you have to modify them within their native applications, whether it's high level AI Studio or it's Claude and you're dropping it in the prompt to change things. But I built out both of those dashboards literally in like 3 minutes. After I gave the prompt to ChatGPT and dropped it in there, I waited about 3 minutes, and they both had similar time frames where they had delivered me a finished product. So now you know, and I'll keep you guys updated on what prices High Level announces, and let's just hope that it's something that the people can afford. Otherwise, I think it might sit like the AI employees where it's a nice perk, but it's not something that's needed because if it becomes too expensive, we can always use another AI we're paying $20 a month for and get our generations there. All right? Just want to bring that to you guys. Like I said, every time I come here, I'm going to give you guys one or two things. Something you need to know or something you need to grow. And normally they're one and the same. All right? Have a great day, you guys. I'll talk to you soon.